Episode 2: The Making of Midgard. The world is not yet a house, but it is ready to become one. The great tree stands, the wells keep their watch. The stars have begun their brave practice of shining. In the hush between breaths, a new rhythm gathers. Not the rhythm of dreaming, but the rhythm of shaping. It moves through roots and branches, through warm and cold, and comes to rest in the hands of three who are not yet named in the air, but already known by the work they will do. They are brothers in purpose, one with a gaze like a horizon, one with a voice like fresh water, one with hands that listen as much as they hold. The gap greets them as it greets all steady things, without fear and without hurry. They pause where the world is wide and the silence is kind, and in that pause, they choose gentleness for the first tool. Ymir sleeps, heavy as a mountain and simple as a tide. There is no anger in the sleep, no struggle. There is permission for the next turning of the story. The brothers bow their heads, and the bow is a vow to hold, to measure, to leave space for rest inside all that is made. A wind moves small and sure. It carries the thought of a shoreline. The thought is good. A second wind follows, carrying the thought of hills to keep company with that shore. The thought is good. With care that does not tremble, the brothers begin. From Ymir's vast flesh, they lay down the earth, not tossed, not slammed, laid, as a blanket is laid over a sleeping child. Plains unroll like quiet cloth. Valleys curl where water will one day think of its path. Ridges lift like slow breathing ribs. The weight of the world is not a burden. It is a peace that settles evenly. From Ymir's bones, they raise the mountains. The mountains rise as elders stand, with creeks that are only honest, not complaining. They take their places without pride, without apology. Stone remembers how to be strong without being hard of heart. Snow folds itself on high shoulders and does not slip. From Ymir's hair, they lay down forests, dark and green, light and green, whispering in many dialects of leaf. Trunks root deep with gratitude, branches spread like open hands. Moss thinks of softness and then provides it. Birds find rooms before they are feathered. From Ymir's teeth and shattered bones, they sow the gravel and the beaches, where waves will practice arriving and leaving, where small stones will be made smooth by long friendship with water. A beach learns to be generous, always giving a little ground, always receiving it back. From Ymir's blood, they pour the seas. The pouring is careful, like filling a bowl that deserves respect. The seas take their level, and then their voice. They promise to be vast but not cruel, powerful but not proud. Waves find their music, slow drums along the coasts, steady breath in the deep. Fish that do not yet exist are already forgiven for darting and gleaming. Whales that are not yet sung discover their notes in a future the waters are happy to hold. From Ymir's skull they lift the sky. It opens like a great calm shell, dome wide, clean and blue where it wishes to be. Storm grey where thought grows thick, night black where dreams prefer privacy. The brothers set the sky gently upon the world, so that air can move and never be trapped, so that thunder can walk without violence, so that light can find lanes to wander. But a sky needs fire to read by, so the brothers reach toward Muspelheim's patient embers. They take only what is freely given, sparks that long for distance, embers that wish to become small suns. They scatter them with the grace of sowers, and the stars rise to their places, each one finding a home that fits its brightness. 2 larger lights are needed for time to learn its shape. Soul is set upon the day like a golden token, not to burn, but to bless, not to command, but to coax growth from seed and courage from living things. Mani is set upon the night like a calm silver cup, measuring the hours with a soft rim of light, offering hush to the fields, keeping watch for travellers whose feet prefer darkness. Soul takes her path with dignity. Mani takes his with tenderness. They pass each other like 2 old friends, sharing the same road in opposite directions, nodding in mutual trust. The sky learns the honesty of cycles, that returning is not failure, that arrival is not ownership. Morning, evening, midnight, noon. Names begin to form like dew on grass, simple and sufficient. Where the sky meets the sea, the brothers lay the farthest horizons, and where the sea meets the land, they lay the nearest promises. In between they thread rivers out of melted memory, blue threads that sew mountains to plains, hills to harbours. Each river learns to turn, and to keep turning without losing itself. Lakes settle like mirrors, set carefully upon a table. Ponds tuck themselves into meadows, like buttons into buttonholes. Clouds arrive with soft unanimity. Some are tall with a grey belly fit for rain. Some are thin and travel-loving. Some are small and wise enough to stay still. They take up the work of movement, gathering and letting go, never hoarding, never staying longer than their welcome. Under the new sky, dwarfs stir where damp earth meets old sunlight. Once shapeless, now shaped by attention and patience. They wake into craft the way leaves wake into green. They find all that keeps quiet beneath stone, and they listen to it. They learn the language of metal, the manners of fire, the courtesy of cooling. Their halls are dim and warm and honest. They do not rush. Among them, names begin to sound, not shouted, simply spoken, and the metal answers with fine work that will someday be needed. Alpha awake in bright places where dawn lingers. They study angles that belong to light. They keep small gardens on open shelves of air. Their laughter is not loud, but it is clear, and it teaches bees that sweetness should be shared. Under all, Jormungandr is not yet given to the deep. Fenrir is not yet bound. Hel is not yet crowned. All these threads remain soft in the hands of time, waiting for the firm pull that will define their shapes. For now, the brothers' work is Midgard, the ring of middle dwelling, the plain of modest wonders, the place where small fires will be enough. They walk the length of the world, not to claim it, but to meet it. And everywhere they walk, balance gathers like dew. They kneel by a low shore where new reeds sway, and set the first boundaries, not fences, but gentle definitions. This is land, this is water, this is the line they share. No side owns the other. They trade gifts. Tide promises to keep its schedule. Sand promises to forgive its disturbances. They lean their hands upon a young mountain and check its temper. It is steady but not stubborn. It will hold snow with kindness. It will send avalanches only when loaded beyond what is fair. It will shelter leopards in some ages, goats in others, and always it will accept the sky upon its crest, like a crown worn without vanity. The brothers rest and let the world breathe. Rest is part of the shaping. The seas practice their quiet roars. The winds rehearse their gentlest lines. The forests rephrase their whispers until the syllables are right. A fox pads across a new meadow and leaves a sentence a prince. The grass reads and forgets, exactly as it should. From the far hills a stag considers a brook and bows to drink. It raises its head slowly, a drop of clarity shining at its mouth. The drop falls back and becomes part of the brook's small story, a chapter of no consequence, perfect in its smallness. The brothers rise and turn to the last labour of this day, the shaping of guardians to keep order at the horizons where sky is held up. 4 of the eldest stand at the corners of the world, not to pin it down, but to steady it when storms grow large. Ostri to the east, Vestri to the west, Northri to the north, Suthri to the south. Their strength is quiet, their watch is faithful. They look like boulders when no one needs them. When they are needed, they look like calm. The sky rests easy upon its bearers. Soul sets her will to a wide and even path. Mani glides into his river of night. Stars find new courage in their certain places. The world learns how to be dependable without becoming dull. And yet, for all its beauty, Midgard is still only a stage. A table has been set, but no voices have gathered around it. Fields are ready to feed, but no hands bless the bread. Forests offer paths, but no feet measure them with gratitude. The brothers hear the absence like a held breath and go to the sea to answer it. On a tide line where foam writes its brief poems and erases them with equal grace, two fallen trees have washed ashore, one pale and smooth from much travelling, one dark and strong with knots like old stories. They have no names, they have no need. They are perfect. The brothers lift them as a midwife lifts a newborn, not upward only, but into belonging. They lay the pale wood upon warm stone and set their hands upon it. From the first brother's touch comes breath, a slow, generous breath that knows it should return each time it leaves. Lungs rise and fall. The chest learns the humble miracle of rhythm. From the second brother's touch comes awareness, eyes that open like small suns, ears that learn the difference between wind in leaves and wind on water, a mind that can hold wonder without crushing it. From the third brother's touch comes movement and colour, sinew that understands effort without violence, blood that keeps time with the world, hair like grass after rain, skin like the warm underside of a cloud. The pale wood stands and becomes a being, steady and new. Ask, he will be called, not by decree, but because the world likes how the word fills in the mouth. He looks upon the sky without flinching, and upon the sea without despair. He is unafraid of smallness, because he senses how welcome it is here. The dark wood is laid upon the same stone, and the gifts are given again. Breath, awareness, movement in colour. Embla rises, the balance to ask, the answer to his question. Her gaze is like the edge of a lake, clear, yielding, deep. She listens as if listening is a craft worthy of mastery, and the world, pleased, tells her many gentle things at once. They stand together in the new light of an ordinary afternoon. They do not know how extraordinary they are. They do not need to. They learn standing. They learn the way sand yields and then welcomes back a foot. They learn that wind can be a shore and sun can be a neighbour. The brothers clothen, not in splendour, but in sufficiency, a woven length, a warmth and modesty, a cord to carry simple tools that are not yet made. They give them speech, which is the art of building bridges without wood. They give them names for things, and the kindness not to name too quickly. They teach them how to look at a path and learn it, how to look at a berry and ask it for its truth, how to look at fire and remember that warmth is wiser than blaze. Ask and Embla try the first bread, coarse, sweet with the honest grain of Vanaheim's promise, salted by a wind that has crossed the sea. They bless it without knowing that blessing is what they are doing. The blessing takes and multiplies. It will never be used up. They drink water from their hands and do not spill. They lie on moss and feel the earth consent to hold their weight. They laugh once, softly, and discover that laughter is a door that opens both ways, letting joy out and letting comfort in. Evening gathers like a gentle shepherd. Soul lowers her lamp. Mani lifts his. Ask and Embla watch the change without fear. And when a first star dares to appear, they look up and become part of the sky's courage. The brothers show them where to set a small hearth. Stones are placed in a ring that knows how to keep. Dry twigs, dry grass, a patience of sparks, and then a ribbon of flame that speaks in a language everyone already understands. The flame is not large, it is enough. Smoke rises and writes a soft letter to the night. We are here. The night answers by drawing closer, not to smother, but to keep them company. Ask and Embla sleep, and their sleep is an agreement with the world. Dreams come, not many, not few. Dreams of wind combing through long grass, of water asking to be crossed and then thanked, of the field promising bread, if it is remembered kindly. The brothers keep watch a while longer. They walk the edges of Midgard and check every seam, where land meets sea, sound, where mountain meets cloud, faithful, where forest meets meadow, friendly, where river meets lake, content. They listen beneath the ground and hear the good muttering of roots. They listen above the ground and hear the good muttering of leaves. They listen in the air and hear the good muttering of wings that have not yet lifted and soon will. Satisfied, they speak no grand declarations. They say only what is needed, so quietly the world can overhear and feel steadied. Let this place be a middle that welcomes all directions. Let its fires be warm, its waters honest, its paths forgiving. Let those who dwell here learn enough courage to be kind. The prayer enters the bark of trees, the bones of hills, the foam of waves. It settles in the joints of the world and keeps them from aching when weather changes. Night deepens. Mani's silver road runs smooth. Stars hold their lanes. The guardians at the corners of the sky lean into their quiet duty. From the forges below, a faint, respectful ringing rises. Work well done, work that will be done again tomorrow. Ass stirs, turns, and sleeps more deeply. Embla breathes the same breath, as if sleep is a meadow, and they are too dear at rest. Their hands find one another without searching. Their small hearth lowers itself and will lift again at dawn. Under Yggdrasil's wide, patient crown, Midgard lies as a new book lies under a lamp, open, inviting, ready for hands that will trace its lines again and again. The brothers step back, not away. Shaping is never finished, but tonight it is complete enough to bless. And in the clear quiet after making, The world listens to itself and smiles. A smile you cannot see, only feel. Like warmth through wool, like light through leaves, like the certainty that morning knows your name and will come when it is time.